everybody? This is going to be a real quick live video. I wanted to share some thoughts on the Steve Stevenson um, story. Steve Stevens story. I actually just watched a video with Dr. Boyce Watkins speaking on the entire situation from how he sees it. And I'm going to link you guys to it in case you don't follow Dr. Boyce Watkins, in case you're not actually listening to the stuff that he's broadcasting from his channel. Dr. Boyce has been one of those people who I'm extremely glad that I discovered through YouTube. He's used social media correctly to get his message out, to bring people to his platform. And as far as black leadership goes, he's one of the voices I've been listening to for several years now because I resonate with his message. And so much of what he talks about, especially today, I felt it. I felt it so much I had to go live. I'm not worried about how I'm appearing to you right now because I realize as a black man, whether I'm shaved or not, I'll be judged simply because I'm not white. I'm in this type of system. Unfortunately, even in this type of system, I'll be judged by my own people because I'm not dark. It's all types of nonsense that we as black men are constantly facing. And that's one of the things that Dr. Boyce was speaking about in this video, commenting on Steve Stevens, who irresponsibly decided to deal with the problems that he was facing in life by going around and causing harm to other people. Now, this is one of those things that we say about misery and miserable people. Misery loves company. If a person is unhappy, one of the first things they're going to do is try to make someone else unhappy. People who gossip a lot, who tell other people's dirt, they want to bring other people down. They do this because they're having some challenges of their own. And it's unfortunate that so many black people specifically, but not just black people, respond this way when they're going through something, that they try to now, put their problems on someone else. And this is really what Dr. Boyce is talking about, that not enough black men specifically, because he's talking to us, are raised right. And this is something that we might be sensitive about, but it's true. A lot of us come from homes where our fathers either didn't have fathers or our fathers weren't there. So we're not learning manhood. We're not learning how to deal with challenges, how to continue moving forward. A lot of us. Some of us are blessed and lucky to have it, but a lot of us don't have that, and it impacts us differently in different ways. What I also appreciate, though, about what Dr. Boyce mentioned is that it's not always just on the men. A lot of times our women play a major role in this. They're not lifting us up. They're not accepting us as black men with struggles in a white society. They need us or want us to have everything a white man has. We are constantly compared with the white man in the white status, and a lot of times our women ignore that we are facing challenges to reach that status. And so together we should be working to eliminate some of the problems that our generation faces for the next generation. But again, we're not brought up to even think that way. We're thinking about now, we're thinking about ourselves, and we're not thinking about our collective. So I thought it was an excellent recap of not just the Steve Stevenson's nonsense, but how this nonsense is prevalent in our community, and not just our community, because again, we live in a society where these things happen. We see white men snap and just go on killing sprees. We see all kinds of these challenges happening in other communities as well, but we don't have time to worry about these other communities when we have so much going on in our own community. And so again, what I really loved about what he mentioned today is black business ownership. I've started so many businesses in my life, and so many people I know have been afraid to go into business with me or even to support a business that I have. And so much of that stems from the society we live in and the mentality that so many of us pick up, where we're constantly going after white affirmation. We want white approval. So we go get white-owned jobs. We go to white-owned schools. We go for those white degrees, right? And knowing that even having all that stuff won't guarantee us the things that we're after. Rather than taking the time to learn business, learn investing, and understand that we have to create opportunities for ourselves rather than wait for other people to create opportunities for us. They're not going to do that. So we talk about that a lot here on Top Networkers Group. But how many of you that follow this channel, how many of you are in partnership with us? How many of you are working with us? How many of you are instead trying to be an individual with all the information out there that shows you you cannot make it on your own? Even Dr. Boyce, whose channel I love, he doesn't do it on his own. He has several other speakers come on. This is one of the things that I've been talking about here on this channel for years now, is that my original vision for Top Networkers Group, we will have multiple people training and sharing information. The problem we've had is everyone comes in with their own agenda. So I had one dude named Rob who came in, learned what he could, saw how we were doing it, said, okay, now I get it, and then he goes off and makes his own system. There's another guy named Phil. He comes in, he calls himself aligning with us, doesn't watch not near one training video that's been made, right? Because he's so self-centered, so much about himself and trying to promote his own prosperous rhinoceros stuff, which is, his own agenda. So he comes in, he writes a book, quotes me, gets upset at me because I don't want to endorse those quotes, right? And then now he doesn't want to work. And there's so many situations like this where you have people who steal folks out your downline, and you say, bruh, you can't just take people out my downline, and they want to argue with you, and then try to cause problems, So it's ongoing nonsense that we have in our own community. You know what I'm saying? So we're, even as black business owners, we're not doing a good enough job of working together to build something. As black men and black women, we're not working together to build something. I'm going to share this last thought and now I'm gone. I was talking to one of my friends who just started a business online. It's funny because, again, he's coming to me for help. He wants me to help set his websites up and some of these things. Some of the questions that he's asking me are the same questions that he was asking me 7 years ago. And this is what Dr. Boyce is saying. And even Dick Gregory talked about it in a speech called Too Few Knew. We as a people, we have so much work to do, but we are spending our time relaxing, twiddling our thumbs, doing everything but taking care of business and moving forward and moving in a positive direction. We're really not. We're hearing the messages now. We're having all types of speakers and mentors and teachers tell us how to get there, and we're still not going. So something has to change. Something has changed about how we're doing what we're doing from our day to day as black people. Again, there's a lot of other people that have issues, but we gotta worry about ourselves. We gotta get ourselves back. We gotta get ourselves right to where we control, as Dick Gregory said, where we control our communities. Right now, we don't even have community. A community, according to Dick Gregory, is where you control your press, your cops, your banking, and your finance. We don't control none of that in our community. So we have to change that. And that doesn't change by us going to a white man's job and bragging about the paycheck a white man gave us every week or 2 weeks. We got to be proud about the paycheck we create, from the book we wrote and sold, from the product we made and sold, from the network we built and the products or services we sold through that network, and all the people we're helping and enriching who look like us. That's what we need to be focused on. Those need to be our goals. I'm going to link you to the conversation. To see, if we do that, now we eliminate the economic stress that so many of us are under. We eliminate so many of the things that might lead or trigger snapping. And whether it's harming others or harming ourselves, we can reduce those things simply by focusing our activities on more positive, ways to spend our time, things that are going to generate the kinds of results that many of us are after. We're not going to get them trying to get them from a white man or white woman system that was never designed to help us. Thank you for watching TopNetworkersGroup.com. Make sure you're on the list. We'll see you at the top.